Hi, I'm Tanya representing the Robinson Lloyd Resiliency Group. We help companies to get an edge in three core ways. Firstly, we provide psychometric assessments that help our clients to understand how to help their students. We provide these services primarily to organizations that work with children and youth. Secondly, we use our data to customize program solutions or interventions that best meet the needs of our clients. And finally, we use our insights gained to help form meaningful connections or foster meaningful connections between our clients and all stakeholders. Today, I have the distinct honor of sharing our culminating speeches that were presented by students of the University Heights Charter School. First, you'd be hearing from their CEO, Dr. Christy Oliver. Just a bit of background about the Power Resilient Stars public speaking and self-awareness program. This evolved quite naturally from students sharing about their anxiety levels and, of course, their need to share how or express how they feel with more confidence, with more passion. And I am a distinguished Toastmaster of, for about 10 years or so. And I decided to use those skills to help them gain their skills in public speaking. Now, just a bit of background. Our students from University Heights Charter School will be addressing themes about the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde, Texas. They would also be sharing their thoughts on the closure of UHCS, as well as themes concerning their life, inclusion, and coming from different cultures. Really amazing speeches lined up. Now let's just stop for a second to think about the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde, Texas. According to the Washington Post, more than 311,000 students have experienced gun violence at school since Columbine. That's a big number, 311,000 students. We would like to, it seems that there's an attempt to brand persons living with mental health disorders as the perpetrators of these killings. But according to research, persons with serious mental health disorders were responsible for 10% of all violent crimes, homicides in the United States. For mass killings, they're responsible for 33%. The links for this data would be provided below. As I shared, our students learned how to develop their voice. They went through about 6 weeks of coaching on how to present a public speaking speech. They viewed topics that are current. And without further ado, we are going to look at the first message from the CEO of University Heights Charter School, Dr. Christy Oliver, followed by speeches from Christopher Gonzalez, who'd be sharing about his superpowers. That's a term that means characteristics or strengths that we teach in the Resilient Stars program. We'd also be hearing from London Davis, who shares and encourages us to take the jump, take the leap of faith, believe in ourselves. We'd also hear from Noah White, who was moved to write a speech after losing her great-grandmother, who lived to be 100 years old. We then hear from Marianis Torres, who spoke about the crime situation, particularly the mass shootings that have occurred recently here in the United States. We'll also be hearing from Abraham Omo Ehiosa, who shares about work ethic, success being 25% purposeful, driven, and 85% work ethic. And we are going to hear from Sarah Crutcher, who shared Who Am I? Her views on being a Black student of University Heights Charter School, a Black American, as well as the need to feel safe. And finally, we would be hearing from Osirami McCahan, Oya Kilomin, who would be sharing her desire to fit in. I thank you, and I ask you to please share this video widely, share all of our videos with our speeches, because they're going to impact lives in a very, very powerful way. These children really moved the audience with their speeches. Very, very amazing, and very proud of each and every one of them. Thank you.
I have one question, if it's possible.
Of course.
Abraham, do me a favor, just for me, because the judge is already gone. Turn off your camera and start reading your speech again, because when you was reading your speech, it didn't come across clear. But I just want to see. Sometimes when you turn your camera off, because of there's a problem with the Wi-Fi. If you turn your camera off, then your voice will come across clear. So turn your camera off and let me hear you speak and see if it sounds different.
Is the audio good now?
Yes.
It's better. Is it possible? Now, that's not going to help with the judges, but could you read your speech again?
Yes, please.
Okay. The road to success is 25% smarts, 75% work ethic. Work ethic is the effort you put in your work. Without work ethic, you won't get nowhere. When I turn on the red and blue lights, I know I've reached my definition of success and where I want to be. Dear parents, contestants, and judges, I would like to inspire you by sharing the essentials to reach success. Here are 3 essentials you need to know about your career, relationship, and education. The first one is management. The second is working under pressure. And the third is understanding your goal. Those 3 essentials help you by instilling the knowledge and wisdom required to reach success. Here's one thing you need to know. Don't allow obstacles to discourage you. In reality, it's a sign you're almost there and close to the finish line. Soon and very soon, I'll tell you how to plan your success. Because without planning, there's a high risk of failure. And I'll tell you how I plan to one day use steel bracelets, referring to handcuffs. The first question is, what do I want to be? Take a moment to think about that. In order to progress, you need to know that first. As a follow-up is why. If you use your why as motivation to do your best, it also sets your purpose for what you want to be. The second step is to find out, when do I want to be it? It's always smart to set a time stamp for goals. It lets you plan when you need to complete certain tasks for your end destination. For instance, if I want to be a police officer by 22 or 23, I know that at 18, I'm going to university for 4 years to acquire a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So by the time that's done, I'll be 22, where I can then take the police academy. Is my goal realistically attainable? Although you shouldn't hinder your dreams, it's best you do something that's possible. At last, what changes do I have to make to reach my goal of success? Some dreams require you to make changes to your life. Make the changes that will better you. Now that you've heard knowledge on how success is 25% smarts and 75% work ethic, I encourage you to show determination with your goal and implement these strategies. Thank you.
Yeah, it came out a lot better.
Yeah,
it did break up just a little, but yeah, that was better. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Dickerson. Great looking out.